Welcome to the 5 for 2 podcast with me, your host Adele, where we say no to careers where you're trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. A place we discuss all things career, confidence, and money moves. I want to motivate, teach, and empower ambitious women to achieve more, earn more, feel more confident, and enjoy the work they do. It's all about believing you can have everything you want in your career and then going and getting it. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the 5 for 2 Careers podcast. And let's just dive into it. We're going to talk CVs today. What I need you to take out of your CV if you want to get shortlisted, whether it's for a career upgrade, a better opportunity, more money, or a total industry change. I need these things to be removed from your CV. We always talk about what you should put in your CV, but I've looked at a lot of CVs in December and November and December because I was rewriting them, and there was common things I kept seeing that need to be removed from CVs. So I'm going to help you out because it's the beginning of the year. I know a lot of you are in the season of writing CVs because so many of you are ready to change, tired of your job, tired of the money you're earning. So let's go. Let's get into it. What should we be doing about these CVs? First thing, point number 1, take out the bullet points. See what I did there? Right. Bullet points under jobs that have no relevance. So you are, whether you're changing industry or you are trying to upgrade your role, you're trying to make more money, you've got your career history. And a lot of us, if you've been working as long as me, you've got a ridiculous amount of career history. So we've already taken a lot of jobs off. But obviously you want things to go in order, like, you know, your most recent job and then work backwards. But maybe some of your jobs in between the relevant jobs aren't that relevant. Like you've got really specific jobs where, I don't know, you have done, okay, I'm just going to use myself, human resources. I've done human resources, I've done recruitment. They're really specific. My business, not so specific. However, yes, coaching is to do with careers and stuff like that, but it's not relevant to certain roles that I'm going to apply to. However, I still want it on my CV because I want you to know what I do. Because if I'm going to work for you part-time and I've got my business, I don't want the two things to be a problem. So I'm going to let you know, but it's not as relevant. It's probably going to have 2 bullet points underneath it, if that. It may just have the title and a little blurb. Because it doesn't need bullet points. Some of you, when I look at the CV, you've got the same amount of bullet points under relevant jobs as you have under irrelevant jobs. Because sometimes you guys will say to me, oh yeah, but I've done a lot of things here I'm really proud of. Are they relevant? Pride comes before a fall. Just a reminder. We're all proud of something. But your CV is a summary of the most important things that you've done that are relevant to the job you've applied to. I need to always add in that relevant bit because a lot of you will say to me, yeah, these are the most important things I've done, but are they relevant? So if the job isn't relevant, if you read the job advert or the job description and you're like, oh, this isn't relevant, then why is it there? Also, if you're changing industries and so some people have come to me and they're like, I want to get back into an industry that I used to be in, but I've not been in that industry for maybe 7 years. So I'm like, okay, cool. When you were in the industry, let me see where the job is on your CV. It should still be in order. So you don't need to bring that job to the top. But what you do need to do is make sure it has the most bullet points, the most information, because it's the most relevant. All your other jobs you can just shorten the bullet points and make that one really heavy and ensure your summary has those points. If you are changing industry, I don't care if your current job is not relevant. Your summary needs to show relevance. It needs to say, oh, like previously worked in blah, 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 delivering blah, 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 blah. Like it needs to have this information. Like, what have you optimized? What have you decreased? What have you increased? What have you improved? What have you developed? I'm saying all these words to help you out, guys. This is bonus to the tips that I'm giving you because I'm only giving you 3 tips today. And one is about bullet points, but this is a bonus point. Summary should include relevance. What skills are you bringing that are going to help this company? If they are looking for salespeople, why are you going to be good at sales? Have you said it in your summary? What have you sold? Where have you made money? What outcomes have you had? What results have you delivered? What skill set can you show that they've asked for in the job advert? It's the same with your bullet points. What skill set and result are you showing in those bullet points that are relevant? Take out anything that's not relevant. I don't care how hard it is or what it means to you, if it is not relevant to the job you are applying to, please take it out. It is a distraction to the person shortlisting you. If they see too much irrelevant stuff, they won't keep reading to get to the relevant stuff. And that is always my point. And if you know the most relevant stuff is not in your first 2 jobs, oh my gosh, you need to put it in your summary then. Because if you know your first 2 jobs are not really as relevant, now don't get me wrong, you can change those bullet points in your most recent jobs to be more connected. So for instance, I had a client and she wanted to go back into sort of more money management sort of roles, sort of finance roles. But recently she had been managing properties. So that was her role. And she was like, it's not really relevant. And I was like, okay, within properties, don't you do financial stuff? Don't you have to manage books and stuff like that? She goes, oh yeah, I never thought of it like that. I said, okay, then under your properties job, put the financial stuff in, because her financial work was way back, like about 3 jobs before that. And they're not going to see that straight away. So you need to highlight in any job that you have, anything that's relevant. You need to make sure your summary talks about the fact that you've previously had that relevant experience that they're looking for, so that they will look for it in your CV, versus you've not told them anything. And then the first 2 jobs, all the bullet points have nothing to do with what they do. Your CV, they didn't get to the 3rd job to be able to see the relevance. They didn't understand how for the last 6 years you've been doing something that's totally different, but now you kind of want to get back into it. And just saying, I want to get back into the industry in your summary, please don't do that. It's really off-putting when it doesn't have context. So don't do that. As a recruiter, I'm letting you know, don't just write that like, oh, trying to get back into the industry. No. Tell them why, even though you left, it don't make a difference. You've always kept your skills up. And that's one of the things. Even though I'm not in that industry anymore, I've always kept my skills up. Listen, if I had to go back into teaching, I promise you my CV will be focused on all the teams that I've trained, all the people that I've taught. It will be focused on any coaching that I've done, that is teaching, masterclasses that I've delivered, that is teaching, any shows that I've been on, any seminars that I've done, any speaking gigs that I've done where I was teaching. It is not going to be focused on all the human resources stuff I do and all the governance and all the compliance. Why? Because it's not relevant. No one cares. Take out bullet points that aren't relevant. Point 2, wins and achievements. I always talk about how you need to put all the wins. Like, why is the bullet point relevant? Like, what was the win? What was the achievement? What was the outcome? So not just saying, oh, ran reports. What was the outcome of those reports? Ran reports for the senior team, which impacted decisions for the next quarter. Whatever it is, like what was the reason you did what you did? But again, are they relevant? You want to make sure the wins and achievements that are in your summary and in your bullet points and throughout your CV connect to the job description. My biggest thing is the job advert and the job description are literally what I base a CV on. Like when I write a CV, I just look at the job advert and I'm like, oh, what are they talking about over here? I look at my CV. Obviously, I've got my base of my CV, my foundation. And then I'm like, oh, what are they talking about over here? Oh, they talk about communication a lot over here. My CV talks about it a little bit, but not enough. I just add it in. I edit a couple bits. I take out things that aren't relevant and add it in. Are your wins connected to that job advert? The job advert saying they need someone who can communicate with, I don't know, clients internationally and locally. Do you show anywhere in your CV that you've worked with international clients and across different time zones? See, I'm making you think about it now, aren't I? If they've told you in the job description what they want, have you shown that? That's an achievement to them because that's what they want. If they're talking about you help with employment law and you've helped like companies win at tribunals, whatever it is, have you shown that in your CV? Have you spoke about it in a bullet point? Have you showcased it in your summary even? What have you talked about to show that you are up on employment law and that you've won some cases? How have you spoke about it? Have you trained teams to be able to help the company stay legally compliant? That's relevant. Versus just talking about, oh, I do recruitment. Okay, but they didn't ask for that in the job advert. Yes, that might be a part of the job, but that's not what they were talking about the most in the job advert. So what are they talking about the most? Please use job adverts and job descriptions to your advantage. That's what they're there for. I promise you, the only reason I can write all these CVs and the only reason a lot of my clients are getting shortlisted in all these different industries that I help across, because I help across so many industries that I've never been in myself personally. But the reason I can write the CV is I just literally read the job advert and I'm like, oh, I can see why you're not getting shortlisted. I can literally look at someone's CV and be like, oh, this is why you're not getting shortlisted. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because they asked for this and you've not mentioned it one time, or you've mentioned it once, but they've asked for it, like they've asked for it a lot. So that's the thing they care about the most. They've said the key area of this role will be. If that's the key area, I'm going to need to see it repeated in your CV about 3 or 4 times in different ways, in different formats. So wins and achievements have to also be relevant, just like your bullet points are relevant. Skills and qualifications that don't connect. This is a big one. I see a lot of people have the skills section on their CV, as you should. You should be proud of all your skills and all your qualifications. However, some of you have got degrees that are not relevant for the industry you go into. Do you think my childcare qualifications are on my CV anymore? For what reason? For what reason? I'm not in that industry anymore. Yes, I studied. Yes, I took my time. Yes, I did years in that to get those qualifications, and I'm proud of them. But no one in HR cares about those qualifications. Why would they be on my CV? And I know a lot of you will say, oh, just to show that I'm academic. They don't care about your academics. They care about what you can help them do and what you can help them achieve. That qualification is just taking up real estate. Like, it's taking up precious space on your CV. Some of you are saying, oh, my CV is 3 pages. I don't know how you got yours down to 2, Adele, when you've got like over 20 years experience. Because I don't have irrelevant stuff on there. Take it out. I feel like I'm sounding a little bit harsh on this episode, but I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying, well, maybe I'm trying to be. Take it out. My qualifications that I've currently got on my CV are going to be the management qualification that I studied years ago. It was my MBA or my MBA. I can't even remember. Look, you see how you don't even use your qualifications. You do all this studying and we don't even use them, but that's on there anyway. And like some other courses that I've done, my employment law stuff, like just other stuff, my psychometric testing. Yeah, did you guys know that I'm a qualified psychometric tester? So I can test you and tell you like your personality type and stuff. Anyway, see, I've never said that before in a podcast, but I'm a qualified psychometric tester. That's on there. It's relevant. It's relevant to HR industry. It's relevant to what I'm doing. My training, because obviously I'm a qualified trainer. So my petals and all that stuff is on there too. Like, I got qualified to be a trainer. I can train adults because I wanted to become a first aid trainer because I started a first aid business. So I put my petals level 4 on there, my petals level 3 on there. Like, they're relevant if I'm going into like learning and development. Like, it's just what matters. If it doesn't matter, I take it off. Skills. You should have a list of skills. Anything between 6 and 9 skills. Cool. But are those skills the skills they ask for on the job advert? Sometimes I see a list of people's skills and I'm like, oh, only 2 of your skills that are on here are relevant. Do you not have these other skills? Because that's the difference. If you don't have them, I'm not asking you to lie, but I'm saying, do you not have these other skills? And they're like, oh, no, I don't have all the other skills. So I just added in, take out the irrelevant ones. If you can cross them over so they're transferable and it's obvious, that's different. So you've got a skill that they're not necessarily asking for in the job advert, but you know that that skill helps you do something else. I need you to word that skill in a way that shows that, or take it out. It needs to be relevant. I'm not saying every skill in the job advert you're necessarily going to have, but what I am saying is the ones you do have are the ones you should have on there, and the other ones that are not relevant, take them out. Like, imagine me having under skills qualified level 3 childcarer. What? That's nice, Adele. Imagine me having under skills first aid qualified and I'm applying for HR. Do you think the HR people care if I'm first aid qualified? Unless they need a first aider on site. That's different. Maybe they do. But I'm saying, why is it up the top in my skills? Why is it the top section of my CV where I've got my skills in the top section? Because skills should be near the top, guys. Qualifications you can have near the bottom. However, if your qualification is relevant, it should be near the top. Again, relevance is key. Where you position things is key based on relevance. Your art degree is not relevant for human resources and sales. It doesn't need to be anywhere near the top of your CV. It doesn't. It can still be on there if you really want it to, somewhere at the bottom, but why have you got it at the top of your CV? It's not relevant. Your drama degree is not relevant. My childcare qualifications are not relevant in the industry I currently work in. Imagine you came to me as a coach and you said, oh, Adele, I'm looking for a coach. I wanted to know like what you've been doing, what's your experience? And I said, oh, I'm qualified to look after children. I'm qualified to teach kids up to the age of 16. You would look at me like I have no sense. That's how people are looking at your CV, guys. Don't let people look at your CV like that. Don't let them look at it and be like, I don't understand, this doesn't make sense. I've asked you what your experience in recruitment is or what your skills are in recruitment, and you told me about your childcare experience. I don't understand. You told me about the fact that you're an early years teacher. I don't understand. You told me about the fact that you teach year 2 or year 3. I don't understand. Skills and qualifications need to connect directly to the job advert or the job description, or the company in some way. So sometimes the job advert may not speak about like sustainability, for instance, but the company's website, they talk about how sustainable they are and they're a sustainability company, blah, blah. Put that in your skills. If you do things to do with, well, not in your skills, but put that in your summary, put that somewhere. If you do things to do with sustainability, you're a sustainability advocate and you have looked on the company website and they talk about it a lot, that's a skill, a relevant thing that you can add in along with the other things that they've specifically asked for in the job advert. And that's what I mean by something that might not be necessarily in the job advert, but is relevant because the company have repeatedly said it on their website. They've said it in their copy. If they've gone out of their way to put it on their website, if they've gone out of their way to talk about it in their reading materials, if they've gone out of their way to even sometimes at the bottom of the job advert, they put like, oh, as a company, we are blah, blah, we pride ourselves on da-da-da-da-da-da, and you've done the da-da-da-da-da-da, then add that in. Yeah, so skills and qualifications that don't connect to the job advert or description or company in any way should be removed. I hope you lot have seen a theme in this episode. If it doesn't match the job description or the job advert, if it has no relevance to the industry or the role that you are going for, if you're going for a senior leadership role, I want you to think of all the opportunities that you've had to lead. It doesn't matter if you've had the title or not. Who have you trained? Who are you responsible for? What are the expectations of you when it comes to those responsibilities and tasks? What are you delivering that's almost at leadership level? That's what I want to have in your bullet points. Everything else, take it out. You're going for leadership roles. They don't want to know how you can do things. Oh, I know how to do this. I know how to do it. No. How can you show other people how to do it? They want to know all the opportunities you've had to show other people how to do it and how you've upskilled other people because you're going into leadership. Leaders lead. They're not on the ground doing all the work. They're coming up with the ideas and they're training other people how to do the work, how to do the day-to-day. They grow businesses. How have you helped growth in your company? Relevance is key. Relevance. So take out the bullet points that aren't relevant. Shorten the jobs that aren't relevant to what you're applying to. Wins and achievements need to be relevant to the job description. They need to matter. And your skills and qualifications, exactly the same again. So it's all about relevance and connection to the jobs. Those are the 3 things I want you to start taking out of your CV if you want to get shortlisted this year and beyond. Okay? I've been doing this with CVs for years. The reason it works, it's continued to work even as the job market got hard, was because I was already up-leveling and finessing CVs to a level that they probably didn't need to be at. But because they were at that level, people were just getting shortlisted like blink, shortlist. So now with a hard market, these CVs will still get shortlisted. I'm not saying they're going to get shortlisted every application. But listen, if you apply to 10 jobs and you get shortlisted 8 times, it's a win. So yeah, that's what I want you to do with your CVs. This is what I work with my clients on. This is what I teach people to do when they sometimes do coaching calls with me, where they don't necessarily want me to edit their CV, but they want help with like getting shortlisted and maybe interviews. I will speak to them and say, these are the things I need you to do. This is what I need you to do. And then they will go from there. Or these are things I'm doing when I'm editing my client CVs. This is what I'm doing. I'm sharing it with you so that you know what to do with your CV. Remember, as always, if you want help with your CV, head over to my website. I've got free resources. I've also got masterclasses that you can purchase, and I've got my CV service that you can purchase. If you've got any questions and you want me to do another episode on something specific within CVs or anything, just DM me. I love ideas from you guys when it comes to podcast episodes. Anyway, I will speak to you guys in the next episode. I hope this episode gave you exactly what you needed and motivated you to confidently take steps towards your next career move. If you enjoyed it, screenshot and share it on your socials, tag me on Instagram, and come join my community of amazing women working on leveling up their confidence and career. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.